Oh no, it's the Rian Shaky guy again. Yes, don't worry, I'm not here to put out more absurd transfer things or anything like that. I'm here to talk about what you think is the most important moment of Newcastle United over the past few years. Now, before I get into that, you might notice a little bit of movement. Well, Lee told us, don't be doing this and dragging the people all over. Guess what, Lee? I'm doing it. Sod you. Look at this cool little tool. Hey, now he's going to have a look at what's going on. Becky Langley, Harry Becky, St James's Park sign, tops on the back, see me quotes up in there, see some of me memorabilia here. Lovely jubbly, innit? Nice little, like, look at this, back here, look. But yes, back to it. The most important moment of Newcastle United over the recent years, since the takeover, including the takeover. Obviously, a lot of people are going to be like, the takeover, obviously it's the most important moment.
He's out of our club! That fat cockney bastard! He's out of our club!
For me, I want to throw something different out there now. I want to talk about a couple of big moments. Obviously, the takeover. Why was that important? Well, it reinvigorated. It saved Newcastle United. It put us on the map big time. We became the richest club in the world. However, we haven't been able to really flex the muscle on that yet, have we? Yet. Summer is coming. Lovely. What else has been important about the takeover though? I think it's about the infrastructure. You know, the Rubens coming in, the Rubens being major property developers in the northeast. It's massive for the revenue of the club. It's massive for the revenue of the city. It's massive for job opportunities in the city. It's great to have people who are actually already invested in the city investing more into it, unlike Mike Ashley.
That fat cockney bastard!
You know, who just didn't have any interest in the city realistically. But other moments. For me, personally, the most important moment is bringing Eddie Howe in as manager. Because the takeover could have happened and we could have went straight for who I was touting in Jose Mourinho. We could have brought Mourinho in and he might not have had the right outlook that we needed at the time. We might have been relegated. He might not have been able to bring the players in that we wanted to bring in or that we did bring in. You know, there was a fair few names at the time. Emery, what would Emery have done? Would he have changed? Would he have done what Eddie Howe's done? Would he have brought the shithouse mentality? Because I feel that's what makes it important about Eddie Howe, is he's brought a different mentality to Newcastle United that we really needed. That whole shithousery outlook, aggressively getting the team's faces and wind them up all the time, the way we don't let other teams wind us up. Do you know? I think that's come from Eddie Howe, and I think it's testament in the players that he's chosen, in the players that he's brought in the way that the players that he's brought in or kept, the way that they've played, the way that they have applied themselves on and off the pitch. You know, our off-pitch mentality is huge. There's many other moments as well, and when we say moments, we're not just talking about your big hitters, we're talking about your smaller moments as well. The likes of Eddie Howe thanking all the staff on the Town Moor. Like, what manager does that? You know? Other moments like bringing in players who we can always talk about who was the most important signing, but when it gets down to it, out of all the signings, what was genuinely the most important one for Newcastle United as a club going forward? Was it Kieran Trippier? Was it Bruno Guimarães? Was it signing this new mentality of Joe Linton? You know, you think of him before the takeover and the majority of people wanted Linton gone. And now you look at it, Joe Linton's one of the top players. He's many people's favourite. Like, what for you? And I want to know, I don't just want to comment of people saying, oh, it's just this. That's what I want. I want because why? I want structure behind it. Tell us what you think. Leave us a nice long comment to look through and read. And I don't think there's many wrong answers here. Yeah, if someone turned around and went, oh, getting a contract extension on Jamal Lascelles was the most important moment. Like, kid, you should be doing my Rian Shaky videos, man. Or me Jacob Murphy ones. What is it? You know, like, there is many moments you could choose from. Signing of players, the Carabao Cup victory, that is without a doubt in my top 3. You know, like, I feel like that's what propels us forward the next few years. The fact that we've went and brought a major trophy home, that we've actually been able to do it for the first time in 70 years. That's a mentality that is going to stick with us. We are going to really go for that. That's going to be something that brings players to it, that keeps players here, not Jacob Murphy. And that allows us to really focus on a bigger project and a bigger win. Premier League, Champions League, Europa League, what's next? What's the next big thing for Newcastle United? We've done the Carabao Cup, right on to the next one, FA Cup, maybe? So obviously the Carabao Cup win is one of the most important moments. If I was to rank them, I'd probably say third, Carabao Cup win, second, the takeover, and number one, signing Eddie Howe. That is without a doubt my top three. Now, why no signings come into that is because I don't believe them signings would be made without Eddie Howe. I believe Eddie Howe is the main driving force in making sure players are a right fit. We always hear about this whole right fit. It needs to be the right fit. Players need to fit in with the squad, need to be able to gel with the squad, which goes to the whole factor of when people look at like, oh, we want to spend millions and millions and millions on a player. And it's like, yeah, but is he going to be the right fit for the team? That's major. And that's an Eddie Howe mentality, an Eddie Howe tactic. And I agree with it all day long. You can't just bring anyone in, and it stands fact that more to what Eddie Howe has brought to us and why it's been so important having Eddie Howe come to us. And I suppose hand in hand, Jason Tindall, they're a package pay. Whoever Tindall is, Eddie Howe and Jason Tindall. Oh, when I love that chant. But I digress. So, for you guys, what's been your most important moment? Has it maybe been getting back into Champions League? Has it been... There's so much. Has it been some of the TalkSport scandals that have happened? Because I think they've been massive on putting a chip on our players' shoulders. Has that been a major factor for it? All the journalists against it? Signing Isak, that was huge. 60 million. Unbelievable stuff. You know, you look at what he's went on and done. Now I think sometimes he gets overlooked a bit because we always talk about Haaland, how he hit the ground running when he hit the Premier League. So did Isak. Isak's had a phenomenal couple of seasons here at Newcastle. He's blown the ceiling out. Truly has. Has that been the statement of intent from the club, from the city, that look, we're bringing in someone like Alexander Isak, someone who's been rated by Ibrahimovic, who's been handpicked as Sweden's next big thing by Ibrahimovic, of all people. Now, for me, like I say, it's Eddie Howe. Signing Eddie Howe has been my most important moment of the last few years since the takeover and including the takeover. Jump in the comments and let us know what you guys think. Now, if you've made it to this far, I also want to talk about the charity walk that we are about to embark upon. And we are walking from the wonderful Stadium of Light, and we are walking to St James's Park. We are doing this in memory of Colin Locke, one of the greatest advocates of the women's sport and women's football in the North East for many, many, many years. Colin was an absolute legend to us all, and we miss him dearly. Sadly, Colin lost his life in a battle with cancer last year before the start of the season, and he missed out on a phenomenal season, which he would have loved, and he would have shed many tears. Instead, we shed many tears for Colin. We're looking to raise £500, here's our target. If we can smash that, which I believe we can, that would be phenomenal. And the link will be down in the comments. It will be pinned probably. It will be about it. If I can get it up in the video somewhere, we'll chuck it up. But if you could please donate, that would be absolutely amazing. And if you can't donate, if you can come along on the walk, that would be absolutely phenomenal as well. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all from me. See? No mad little things for you to get really annoyed at us for? Or was there? Probably. Yeah, well. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one. That Rian's shaky.